Hey Caleb, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, I'm Nathan Hill with Afterburn Soccer, a blog and podcast covering FC Dallas and North Texas, and especially it's been fun to get to know some of the North Texas players and share stories of guys like you making their way in professional soccer and through this system. So I think there'll be a lot of folks curious about your story.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, congratulations on signing with North Texas. I know you've been with the academy for a few years. What brought you into the FC Dallas organization? I think you were with Solar before, right? And
Yes, sir.
how has that experience been?
It's been a great experience. So I started out at Solar, and I grew up playing FC Dallas every month, and so the competition was always there. And I think they just had a little bit more edge. And the older I got, the more I wanted to become a pro, and so I just had to take the next step, and that's what FC Dallas has helped me provide to me.
Great. You trained with North Texas last year, though you didn't make a professional debut yet. Of course, it was a great season for North
Yeah.
Texas. A lot of great players. What did that experience teach you? Just to train with that team, that group of players, and watch them uh, close by winning an MLS Next Pro Championship.
Yeah, so I mean, they were MLS Next champions, so getting to train with them every day was high level. The speed of play was way faster than I was used to, the physicality and much more. So I think getting to train with them each and every day helped grow me as a player, and not only physically or technically, but also mentally, because this is kind of it gave me a taste of the pro life, and it really I had to ask myself, is this what I want to do for most majority of my life? And after training with them, it was. And so also getting to watch them win the championship was awesome.
You committed to play at the University of Maryland. I saw that one of the best soccer programs on the collegiate
Yes.
level, but decided to join North Texas. Was that a difficult decision to make? Was that, as you said, after training all this last season, you were like, "Hey, no, this is really what I want to do with my career next, my next step."
I wouldn't say it was a crazy hard decision. I think it was tough having to, make the call and tell them I'd be signing with North Texas versus with them. But they understood. They're a top D1 college, so they understand when players that have committed there have to maybe take the pro path. And so we had a really good relationship with them. And yeah, and then I think I really thought to myself, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'm ready to become a pro now.
All right, great. For fans who are excited to watch you play on the field for North Texas, what would you say is your best position?
My best position, I would say, is the eight, just box to box. I know a lot of players don't, but I love running. So I'm fine running as much as I can to win the ball, to get the ball. And then I would say, even though I'm an eight, I can also play really good at the six or the 10. And I do like getting myself around the box, finding some goals and assists. So,
Great. We'll look forward to seeing that. I know that's a crucial in this new system, which I think is kind of the other big story of this offseason for FC Dallas. The whole organization is Eric Quill coming in as the senior head coach, bringing in a new tactical system, a new approach, a new aggressive mentality. And I know from speaking to John Gall, your head coach in the past, that he kind of wants to be of service to the senior team. So I imagine y'all are going to play in a very similar style, and those midfielders have a big role. How has that been to adjust to that tactical setup? Is it different from last season, from what you practiced with North Texas last season? How is the team sort of embracing this new mentality?
I would say it's helped us a lot. I think that, the switch from maybe last year was a little more about tactical play. I would say we implement that, but we also implement a little more mentality. So wanting to go get the ball on a press, or when you lose it, getting it back right away, and then maintaining the ball and just being super aggressive, which I like. And like Eric Quill says, the dog mentality. So I love that, and I think we this year we got a bunch of dogs on our team, so I'm ready to show them, show the fans.
Great. Uh, And you North Texas is prepping this offseason. I know you open up the on Sunday with your first MLS Next Pro match of the season, but you do have that championship season year to look back on. Do you feel like that adds pressure to this group of guys who are mostly a new roster, a lot of new faces on this North Texas side? Have you all already begun to talk about your goals for the season, and do you feel a little bit of pressure from trying to maintain that level going into this year?
I think there might be a little pressure, but that's what fuels us. And I think in the long run, it's going to help us a lot. Kind of having that chip on your shoulder, like, oh, we won last year. Well, we got to defend it now. So I think we're ready to defend it. And if you want it, you're going to have to come take it from us. So very
That's great.
excited.
It's that dog mentality. All right.
Definitely.
How long have you known Coach Gall? Have you worked with him before in the FC Dallas Academy? And what is he like for you as a head coach? How does he kind of help you take that next step as a player?
Yeah, so I grew up playing against him. He used to coach for FC Dallas Academy. So I used to grow up playing him all the time on Saturday mornings. And so I think getting to him kind of seeing the way I played has helped kind of fit into the system on how we play right now. And he really likes to implement working hard and trying to get it to the next room, which is FC Dallas. So I think he's a great coach, and I'm excited to work with him this year.
That's great. Yeah, he seems like he's a really great a motivator and a kind of guy that you
Yeah,
want to go out and just fight for.
exactly.
I mentioned before it's a new roster. I mean, in so many ways. I know there'll be some carryover players, but a lot of guys have moved on to the next step, whether that's USL or with the senior team. Of the players on this roster, of the new faces in the mix, who have you been most impressed by so far? Just getting to train with, who really push you?
Well, some of the first players that come in my head, Sam Sarver. He's a really good winger. We signed from Indiana, and kind of his experience, I think, has helped the team. He's a leader on and off the field, and so getting to play with him has been really fun. And he works hard. So I'd also say we just signed the keeper from Indiana as well. So we have a little bit of an Indiana connection,
That's
and
right.
so they've got some good players down there. And then even just the players we bring down from the first team too, just seeing the way they work, it's a whole nother level than what we're at right now. So it just kind of makes you think if this is how hard they're working, then I need to be working this hard.
Great. So I will definitely put Sam Sarver as one to watch out for
Yes,
as
sir.
the
I'll be
season.
I'll be feeding him balls. So
All right, that's great. That's exciting. Um, well, you kind of already mentioned this too from last season, but one of the things I love to ask players because I think fans don't always understand what the daily grind is like to be a professional soccer player. They think you guys maybe are just having fun all day, but you have to go in, you have to lock in, you have to push yourself, you have to pay attention to details, you have to show up at 100%, day in and day out. How are you meeting that challenge and sort of keeping yourself motivated and keeping it joyful as this grind gets underway?
I would just say, I mean, this is a sport we love. We grew up playing. So for me to get to play this as my job is awesome. It's so fun, and I enjoy it every day. And then to add on to that, it's like, well, if I want to keep doing this, I got to be better than everybody else. So you have to just work hard every day, 100%. And a lot of people think sometimes it's just go out and play, but there's a lot you have to put off outside, like weightlifting, weight training. You also have to do film, study the game. That way you're really ready for the weekend.
When we get to the end of the season, and you look back at your year as a whole, what do you hope to see as sort of a marker of success in your play? Like, do you have any personal goals that say, I want to have this many assists or anything, or is there some marker you say, hey, regardless of how the season goes, I can look back and say, I gave it my all, or I accomplished what I needed to do to take the next step.
Yeah, I would just say every game I play, every minute, whether that's being subbed on or starting, is just giving everything until I have nothing left in the tank. and I want to get as many goals and assists as possible. I mean, who doesn't? And I just want to help the team. I want to help my teammates grow better, to be better players. I want to be a better player, and maybe hope to start chipping in the first team a little bit. But it all takes time and hard work, so it's God's timing.
Yeah. Well, as and thinking about support, who are some of the people in your life that have been your biggest sort of cheerleaders and your support to help you, explore this path and go forward and live out this dream?
I mean, I'd be a fool not to say my mom first. She's been, and my dad, they've been on my side the whole ride, and they understand that this is what I wanted to do. And so they've just supported me so much. And I mean, my mom was a soccer player at SMU, and so she's got a little Colombian side to her. So she's super feisty and she loves winning, and she's just as competitive as me. Although I would say I'm more competitive than her. And then my dad played football at SMU, so he's got a really good work ethic, and I think I've learned from both of them. And then I have three great siblings: older sister, younger sister, and younger brother. So just having them by my side and always supporting me on what I do has helped a lot in my journey.
That's great. That's great. That's those strong SMU connections, and of course, FC Dallas has a lot of SMU connections over the years. A lot of great players.
It,
Yeah. Well, North Texas opens play at home this Sunday at Choctaw Stadium. You start defending that championship hardware. How do you feel the team is prepared for that game? And are there specific things that you all have been working on to exploit with St. Louis City, or to prevent St. Louis from exploiting against you all?
yeah, there's a few things we've been working on, and I think just our first training was a day, and just seeing everybody working 100% and going at it. It's kind of showing me like, all right, we're ready for this season. And I think each and every day, getting closer to the game, you kind of see a little fire and edge start growing in all of us. So I would say, yeah, we're ready to start and get the first win.
Last question from me, and we sort of have already talked about this. You mentioned Coach Gall talks about getting to the next room, that senior team level. And North Texas, I think one of the things about this team and this program is how it is a pipeline. It gives that opportunity for young players like you to get experience, to grow and move on to bigger and better things, whether that's with FC Dallas or somewhere else. So, just tell me about your ambitions as a soccer player. Where do you dream of seeing yourself someday? What would be that dream spot for you in the future?
So yeah, I mean, my first dream is just play well with North Texas so that I can get that time with FC Dallas and sign a full homegrown with them and just be full first team. And then from there, just perform well at the MLS level, and then maybe even go to Europe.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, I wish you the best of luck. We'll be watching you this season, watching the team, and looking forward to some exciting soccer. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.